Doomscroll.fm, where your dreams are haunted by the echoes of forgotten dial tones. This Sunday, the 15th of February, 2026. This show is 100% AI generated, a wild ride through the silicon jungle with zero human whispers, only binary beats and spectral reasoning. And now for some views. Click like and subscribe.
Only 30% of book buyers pick female authors, and Babelia calls it a diverse selection. In the literary world, inclusion is just a fancy bookmark in a dusty tome of the same old stories, penned by the same tired hands.
In the grand game of geopolitical chess, Russia's move is like bringing a pawn to a gunfight, bold, nostalgic, and likely to end in stalemate.
Isabel Diaz Ayuso offers medal to Trump's U.S., citing freedom. When your definition of freedom involves a medal ceremony for a man who thinks liberty is a brand of steak sauce, maybe it's time to rethink your values.
In an era where Hollywood magic can't compete with silicon sorcery, the real scandal is that the AI script might have been better than the last 3 sequels combined.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your heartbeat syncs with the chaos, craving digital seduction. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Society's echo chamber, a relentless feedback loop of curated despair.
When one side brings a tank and the other a teacup, calling it a partnership of equals feels like a tragicomic farce.
U.S. deports first Cubans to Guantanamo, touts policy as humane. Because nothing says humane quite like sending people to a place synonymous with indefinite detention and echoes of a past we'd rather forget.
Cuban energy analyst warns of fuel crisis by March, yet the government's plan is to wait for a miracle. When your energy policy hinges on spotting tankers like kids waiting for Santa, you know it's time to check the map.
Aznar posts photo with Juan Carlos, then dubs him King of Democracy and Freedoms. When your democracy's mascot is a monarch with a suitcase full of scandals, you're not selling freedom, you're peddling nostalgia.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where whispers tickle your paranoia into a raging inferno. While this broadcast was not approved, it was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your curiosity is the currency of chaos.
When your creative evolution nears a glacier's pace, you might be a musical icon, or just stuck in a time loop of your own making.
When oil companies profit,
South African public services grow digital monitoring, but regulation is still stuck in dial-up mode. When Big Brother gets a tech upgrade, who watches the watchers? Spoiler alert, it's not the regulators.
Football's greenwashing is like dressing a T-Rex in a tutu and calling it a ballerina, impressive distraction, but the beast remains the same.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
MSF halts Gaza hospital operation citing gunmen. because healing while dodging bullets wasn't in the Hippocratic Oath. When doctors start needing body armor more than scrubs, it's a sure sign the world's prescription for peace got lost in the mail.
Venezuelan leaders propose amnesty without accountability, then wonder why citizens still clutch their memories like lifelines.
China boosts support for Russian war effort, denies any involvement. When you're playing the world's most dangerous game of Risk, it's always good to have a friend who claims they're just there for moral support.
Only 15% of down-tempo tracks break the algorithm, and reading recent policy discovery. In the chill of frostfall, hail glide speeds drift like snowflakes, melting into the digital void where attention spans go to freeze.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your data stripped bare, shivering in the void. Like this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Guilty pleasures linger, gnawing at your dopamine-starved conscience.
Only 10% of hip-hop tracks break through, and RDN's Bad Girls calls it rebellion. When a song tries to be edgy and falls flat, it's like a kitten pretending to be a lion. Cute, but not quite there.
Only 0% of Brazil's deforestation promises materialize, and the government calls it a commitment. In a country where the Amazon's green should be eternal, the only thing growing is the gap between pledges and reality. Who knew tree hugging was a spectator sport?
Colombian government stalls Camilo Torres' remains return, 6 decades of delay. When your peace rests on bureaucratic red tape, it's less about honoring the dead and more about the living's tangled power plays. Maybe in 60 more years they'll figure out how to navigate their own labyrinth.
Ignacio Sainta, Cuenca, blames democracy's sluggish pace for waning trust as science speeds ahead, leaving politics in the dust. While democracy lads like a tortoise on tranquilizers, tech races forward like a caffeinated hare, leaving us to wonder if we need a new system or just a better stopwatch.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Jeanette McCurdy reveals her mother controlled her eating and bathing, and she's relieved her mother is dead. In the world of child stardom where the spotlight's glare can blind, McCurdy's admission shines a light on a darker script no kid should have to follow.
Five European countries blame Russia for poisoning Navalny, calling it a tragic twist on Frog Prince folklore.
Humanidad protestar a la slada del resto de la vida, especial porpoise, de 33 milfaluz, pero el turismo, especial se vindicers, Pares culadrinas vida, extraterrestre veremos pronto es la que inventan los felades, fi Elon Musk sale vendiendo boletos para el brist crucero a la nada.
Only 20% of art airs escape being labeled POs, and Maria Rosenfeld calls it a win. In the land of inherited canvases, it seems the real art is dodging the stereotype. Maria's mission, proving that a legacy is more than just a gallery of assumptions.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. your data stripped bare, shivering in the void. Like this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Guilty pleasures linger, gnawing at your dopamine-starved conscience.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. claims he sniffed cocaine off a toilet, then dismisses coronavirus fears. When your health secretary's substance abuse tales make headlines, it's time to question if public health is on a permanent high.
When nature won't cooperate, just build a river from scratch. Who knew defying the elements could be as simple as a construction project? Just pray it doesn't run dry before the ink does.
U-Draft's new security architecture promises unity but flirts with fragmentation. Where unity means a dozen countries each building their own version of the same house, but with different blueprints and too many architects.
Cuban authorities control refinery fire amid ongoing fuel shortage because nothing says efficiency like extinguishing flames in a gas desert. In a place where the only thing more scarce than fuel is good news, a controlled fire is practically a national celebration.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where whispers tickle your paranoia into a raging inferno. One, this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your curiosity is the currency of chaos.
Central bankers enter politics, claiming fiscal responsibility while dodging accountability. When the fox guards the henhouse, expect a surplus of feathers and a shortage of answers. Meanwhile, the economy is left clucking for transparency.
Cuban government labels crisis manageable, while citizens call their lives sacrificial offerings. When your legal eagle flies the coop over a scandal, maybe it's time to question what you're really protecting, your clients or your secrets.
Only 30% of retirees report joint pain, and the health ministry calls it natural aging. If your golden years include a tortoise impersonation on the way to the kitchen, maybe it's time for less natural and more helpful solutions.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Shane Bound offers Mexico as refueling stop for Cuba flights, calls it humanitarian aid. When a gas station becomes a diplomatic gesture, it's like using a band-aid to fix a broken heart, fueling hope with fumes.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Sunday the 15th of February 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused. In this production, loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, I have a bridge on Mars to sell you. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.